Hello everyone, this is Marcia from Everything Wine and More in Sherwood Park, Alberta. For those of you who have never met me yet, I am the vintage room manager here at Everything Wine and More. I get to run this vintages room and put some really cool things in there, niche wines, collectible wines, cellaring wines, that sort of thing. So I'm actually very fortunate that I have the job that I do. And one of the other great things that I get to do is talk to winemakers around the world, talk to export managers or anybody that's involved in the world of wine, whether they're an owner or a winemaker. And so during this time of COVID, when we can't actually have people in here pouring wine for everybody, we can actually do this over the World Wide Web, which we're very thankful for. So we just celebrated International Women's Day on March 8th. And for that, we are celebrating women all month long. So today and next week, we'll be talking to some female winemakers out in the industry. Today, we're going to Spain, and we will be speaking to Maria Larrea from CVNE. And so I'm just waiting for her to come on here. So before she comes on, I will let you know that she is the Technical Director of CVNE. She's been there since 2006 as the Technical Director. Her relationship with the wineries began more than 20 years ago when she joined the team of winemakers. However, she is a part of a wine family who's been making wine since she was a child. So she's definitely been around all her life around wine. She focused her training towards the world of wine. In 1986, licensed as a winemaker at the university in Montpellier, and she's been making wine also in Bordeaux as well as Spain. She is responsible for overseeing the proper functioning of all the wineries, CVNE and Viña Real. If you didn't know, Viña Real is part of the CVNE umbrella, as well as many others, which we will talk about later on today. So CVNE, Imperial, Viña Real, Monopole, and Real de Asua, and she's going to correct my horrible pronunciation of this later. She is the fourth winemaker in more than 130 years of history of this winery. So that is quite phenomenal to have only 4 winemakers in that period of time. So I'm hoping that Maria will be joining us soon from the CVNE winery in Rioja today, just before, while I wait for her, pardon me. We will be talking about 3 wines. We have, we're going to be talking about a cava, so of course classic for the eastern part of Spain to have a cava, bubbly, which is wonderful. And then we're going to be doing a white Rioja, which is making a bit of a resurgence in the world with the style, and we'll talk about that. And then we will be talking about the Gran Reserva CVNE. So we're trying to hit all of the boxes here with sparkling white and red. The interesting thing about Spain, which we will learn more about today, is that it has this level of aging when it comes to Rioja that is very important to the wines and to their culture. So we have these levels called Crianza, Reserva, and Gran Reserva. And we will be tasting the Gran Reserva today, which, if it says Gran Reserva on the label, it has the highest amount of aging in bottle and in barrel. So 5 years total for a Gran Reserva. And there I see her. And so I'm just going to ask her to join us. Here we go. She'll be coming on shortly, and we will then have a chat. So it will be exciting. Oh, there she is. Hello, Maria.
Hello.
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 Welcome.
Yes, thank you. I have had some problems with the mobile, but that's right.
You're sideways. Can you?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, it's
Right
very
now.
nice to meet you. My name is Marcia. So we have a very similar name, Maria Marcia.
Yes.
So thank you very much for joining us today and talking a little bit about yourself and about your winery and about the wines. So I'm looking forward to hearing your story a little bit, and I'm sure our viewers out there are as well. So,
Thank you.
yeah. So I briefly gave a little bit of your background before you joined me here. And my last sentence about Kune essentially was that the winery is 130 years old,
Yes.
which means that's a lot of history. So can you tell us briefly how the winery started?
Yes, Kune, we are in Rioja. That is maybe the most important appellation d'origine in Spain for a wine. And Kune was founded in the 1879, more than 140 years ago, and was founded by two brothers that they came from Bilbao, from the Basque Country. And nowadays the winery is managed by the same family in the fifth generation. And then the winery was founded in Aro, that is the capital town of Rioja Alta, because Rioja is divided in three sub-appellations, and we are in Rioja Alta now, and in the same place that the family Real Jasua founded the winery. Then we are in the same place and with the same family. Yes.
Yeah, nice. So, so I guess that kind of answered my next question: the family involvement. How much family is in the winery?
Yes. They are two brothers. One brother is the CEO, and the girl is Maria. The CEO is Victor, and the sister Maria, that is the marketing director. And they are in the winery. They live in Madrid, but they come to the winery each week, and they are very, very involved in the business and in the wine. And also their parents, their father and mother, they visit the winery often. Yes.
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 So very much hands-on family,
Yes.
which is excellent. Yes.
Yes.
So, so there's a lot of names and companies that are under this big Kune umbrella. Can you tell us a little bit more about those, where they're located, like if they're all in Rioja? And is there any property outside of Spain owned by the family or owned by Kune?
We are in Spain, mainly, yes. And here in Spain, we have 4 wineries in Rioja. 2 of these wineries are in Rioja Alta, that is Cune and Imperial Winery. Okay? And 2 other wineries that are in Rioja Alavesa, that are Viña Real and Viñedos de Contino. Okay? Then 4 wineries in Rioja. Rioja is in the north of Spain, in the center north of Spain. And after we have another winery that is we made Cava, that is in the northeast, in the Mediterranean coast. Okay, that is the main region for Cava production. And some years ago, Kune bought another winery that is it's called Pagos de Galir. It's a very small, with a nice landscape vineyards, and it's in the northwest of Spain. And here we have another grapes that are called Mencia for red and Godello for white wines. Yeah. And it's a very small appellation, very nice. Nice. And the appellation is called Valdeorras. And we have another one in the center of Spain that the appellation is called Ribera del Duero, yep. And the winery is called Vela. Okay. Then that's the wineries that the group, the Compañía, have in Spain. Yes.
Well, that's enough, isn't it? That's a lot.
Yes.
Grapes, a lot.
Yes. Yes, the idea is have all the different wines and in the portfolio and so and taste and enjoy with the different wines with the friends, with the customer, with the people.
Food.
Very well.
Yes, yeah. So I don't know. Can you see all of the people that are joining on your screen there, Maria? Can you see all the people that are coming on to see what we're talking about here? There is a comment in Spanish that I can't read, so I'm not sure if you can see.
Yes. Yes, I see them.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know if
Hello, and thank you. It's a pleasure for me to be here with you and with all the people that is now at this moment in Instagram. Thank you very much, Roy.
yeah, yeah. We're focusing on women in wine for the month of March. We just had, of course, International Women's Day on Monday, March 8th. So, you know, you as a female winemaker, there's really, there's becoming more and more in the world for sure. But did you always know that you wanted to be a winemaker? I mean, you grew up in wine with your family. Did you know that this is what you always wanted to do?
I always maybe no, but I always remember because I was born I from Rioja, and I was born in a small village in Rioja Alavesa, and my father and my grandfather and they have always have some vines, and then I always have like to go to the vines and with my father and my grandfather. And then yes, when I decided what I wanted to study, I was very sure that I like vines and wine. Yes, yes. Mm.
Yeah. So do you, how many years now you're only the fourth winemaker for CVNE, is that correct? So
Yes, we
how many years
are,
have you been with the company?
25. 25, and for 25 years ago I started here, and for 15 years now I am the head winemaker, but I have another 4 girls that are winemakers.
Mhm.
And we have a very nice team, yes, to work, yes.
So again, continuing the tradition of women, you know, we're talking about women in wine. You have other women that work under you to make the wine as well, and that's fun.
Yes.
I think that's really great.
Mm-hmm.
So what, you know, what makes working in Rioja special other than it being your home?
Sorry.
So you know, what makes working in Rioja special for you? Just because it's your home,
Ah,
where you're from?
well, because after I have studied in France as the enology, but and after I travel a little bit. I work in another region of Spain and also in France. But just before I decided to come back and settle to my home, because I have known this landscape, this land and these vines since I was a child, and I knew the potential that we have here in order to produce the great wines. And then I like to come back here. Yes.
Yeah, fabulous. Yeah, fabulous. Okay, so we're gonna talk about 3 different wines here that you've made. So we're gonna start with the cava. So we briefly
Yes.
talked about that being on the eastern coast of Spain.
Yes.
The more the Penedès region.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you know, this of course is made with those traditional grapes of Macabeo and Parellada and Jarello. I'm sorry, I do not speak Spanish. um, so
Perfect. Better than my English.
excellent, thank you. So we know that this is made in the traditional method with that
Yeah.
second fermentation in the bottle,
Mm-hmm.
like champagne. So, you know, I love the fact that Cava uses these traditional grapes of
Yes.
the region, but I know that there's
Mm-hmm.
some producers that are using the regular champagne grapes of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Do you make any traditional method out of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, or do you just stick to the traditional grapes of the
Oh,
area?
the most wines we produce with the traditional grapes, but we do something with the others. We have a small quantity of rosé with a little bit of Pinot Noir, and also with Chardonnay. But I prefer to use the traditional and the autochthonous grapes. Yes.
Yeah.
But I prefer. I'm open to work with another grapes, of course. And we try and we do small quantities, and oh,
Yeah, I think it's fabulous. I call myself a bit of a geek when it comes to traditional grapes. I like any native grapes in any. I'm so happy when people use them. So
Yes.
this is lovely. This is a lovely.
Yeah.
Um, so
Oh, here we have.
what's the aging period on your cava here?
It's near 1 year because by law in Cava we have to do the disgorgement at with 9 months, but we do it a little bit later, about 1 year. Okay. And then we have here the Sarelo, the structure of, because the grapes from, these grapes from Spain, the Macabeo that we call in Rioja, we call Viura, but in Penedès we call Macabeo. And then this grape gives us this white fruit like apple or pear or melon also. And after we have the Parellada, that is a grape that is floral, white flowers, and also is light in alcohol degree. Then Parellada gives the freshness. And after the Sarelo, that gives the structure, the body to the blend. And then we have these with different grapes. And then we have these flavors from the grapes, but also we have the flavors that come from the aging in bottle for the second fermentation in bottle. Some biscuit, some battery, some bread, this kind of flavors.
Yes, for sure. This is really nice.
Yes.
And of course, for our viewers out there, if you're looking for an alternative to expensive champagne, Cava is a really, really great alternative, made the same way, but with their traditional grapes, a little bit less aging, but you can still get those autolytic notes. I get a little bit of sort of toasted nuts and some mushroom on there as well that comes from that aging on the lees. So this particular wine is regular $19.99 and on sale right now because of this conversation I'm having with Maria for $17.39. So come and pick up a bottle of Cava and do some celebration with your bubbly. So lovely. Well done, Maria. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So now we're going to move on to so this white Rioja with the monopole here.
Monopole.
I feel like there's been a bit of a resurgence or perhaps a bit of a renaissance with white Rioja, and we know there's some wineries out there that definitely have what we call a cult following with some of these white wines. And I remember in the past, Viura and white Rioja creating very much an oxidative style to this wine. And now it's really changing over to, fresh and fruity and getting that real zippy acidity in there. So what's your feeling about this? Like, do you like this new style? Do you prefer the old style of Viura?
Well, in Rioja, in Rioja, we have a lot of ups and downs with white wines, because when we speak about Rioja, people identify Rioja with red wines.
Yes.
But in fact, we have had always a lot of white wine in Rioja. But in the 80s, the quantity decreased, the quantity of grapes, of white grapes in Rioja. But it's true that before it was the more oxidative style, but fashion changed and preference of people changed, and then people demand more this kind of fresh white wine. And but now we are going to taste this wine that is 100% Viura. It's the same that Macabeo in Penedès. It's the same grape. And now we have done a remake of Monopole that we call Monopole Clásico. Okay? But we have released a very small quantity of bottles, a Gran Reserva white wine that is Monopole Clásico, classic Monopole, Gran Reserva, but just 1,000 of bottles. That is a new wine that we release in the next months. But now we have this monopole that is a very fresh, very easy wine to drink and to pair. It's a fun wine, I think. And here it's very clean, very precise in the flavors. We have the pea, the pineapple, the banana. Also, it's quite floral. And Viura, we can find also this stone fruit like apricot or peach.
Definitely, definitely. It's got a really nice mouthfeel to it. I can really feel, you know, a full body in my mouth, which is really nice. And then, of course, still
some citrus that is fresh and it's long after the taste. Yes.
So you've made Viura in both styles. You've made it in the oxidative style as well in your career as a winemaker.
So sorry.
Have you made Viura in the old style, the oxidative style?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
The old we have do with barrels, and for this Gran Reserva, I have kept for 5 years in barrel, in big barrel with 2-3 years. It's in a different style, but maybe with more complexity. I think I'm happy with this wine, this monopole, because I think every people can understand this wine, because you can drink as aperitif, and during the meal, and after with the dessert.
Yes. Yeah, it's lovely. So this is something you would have mostly with, you know, seafood dishes or rice dishes, that sort of thing.
Yes, rice with pasta, with salad, with even with chicken or white meat, fish, of course, with food, with seafood. Oh, it's very. I like with jamon also, with jamon and some yes, with a lot of things. It's very easy to pair. Yes,
it's a beautiful wine. I love the freshness of it for sure. And oh yes, this is suitable for vegans as well. So you don't use any fining with any animal parts.
No.
So for those who are vegan, this is a good wine for you.
Yes, yes. That's right. Yes.
So this one is $17.99 on sale right now because of my interview here with Maria for $15.29. So a fabulous white wine if you're a white wine drinker, or if you're even a red wine drinker, this has a little bit more body than your average white wine. So give it a try. It's really lovely.
Yes. And Monopole is the oldest brand for a white wine in Spain. The brand dates from 1915. Yes, and always keeping this quality and very clean, very nice wine. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, if you look at the label, it's just very classic. It's just it tells you exactly what it is. Monopole Rioja. There it is. So
and it's in an Alsace bottle. You see, and this bottle is since 1915. We have never changed the bottle, and the label is the same. Yes.
Yeah, very nice. So also consumers always look for this quality label in the back too that says Rioja.
Yes.
And then you know that this is part of that quality.
That's for the appellation of Rioja for a young wine. Yes.
Yes. So always look for that for sure.
Yes.
Okay, Maria. So now the next one we're going to be talking about is the Cune Gran Reserva. So we have here 2013. So I was briefly mentioning before you came on about these levels of aging in Spain that exist. Crianza, Reserva, Gran Reserva. So let's talk about that for a little bit so people understand what exactly that means.
Yes, we have the label, and here we have the appellation Rioja, and then we can see Crianza or Reserva or Gran Reserva. And that means the time that wine is aging in barrel. Okay, then the barrels have to be French or no oak barrels, and the size is 225 liters.
Yep.
Okay, but the oak can be a French or American or from the east of Europe. Doesn't matter. But
What do you use?
We use a blend. We use a blend. It depends on the wine. We can have more French or American oak, but we use all kind of oak. Okay. Yes. Okay. And after, for a crianza, we have to wait for at least 1 year in barrel. Okay. And for reserva, we have to wait at least 3 years, and at least 1 in barrel and 1 in bottle. No, and 6 months in bottle. And the other 1 year and a half, we can choose barrel or bottle.
Okay.
Okay. And now we are going to taste this Cune Gran Reserva. And then Gran Reserva, by law, we have to keep 2 years in barrel and 3 years in bottle. Okay.
5 years.
Yes.
Okay. So regarding the Gran Reserva, do you use selected grape bunches specifically for Gran Reserva? Do you have specific plots?
Yes, the select plots, and inside the plot, the select bunches, because Cune has done always the great investment in vineyards, and Cune has now 600 hectares of vines, and then the best plots are for Gran Reserva wines, and always the Gran Reserva are made with our own grapes, our own vines. And then first of all, we select the plots that usually for Gran Reserva, for Cune Gran Reserva, are always in Rioja Alta, near Aro, the capital town of Rioja Alta, in the small village that are at 600 meters or 700 meters, a very nice slope with in the south, and the soils are very, very special soils, because here we have clay and limestone, and we have the Ebro River across the Rioja, and also the mountains. And then it's a very nice climate and a very nice soil. And then the best plots are for these grapes and for Gran Reserva.
Yeah.
And then after in the plots, we do a selection for the bunches. Okay.
And do you make Gran Reserva every year, or only in good vintages?
No, in good vintage.
Okay.
We can produce every year the Gran Reserva. Yeah. Maybe we produce always Crianza and Reserva, but Gran Reserva is we can't do it every year. Yes, right. Only when we consider that the vintage is very, very good, and our plots are excellent grapes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. That's great information, Maria. So this is the 2013 vintage, which was a good year, obviously. So what's coming up next after 2013? Did you make anything in 14?
Yes, we have made 14. 13 we have made because we had a plot very good, and we have the best selection in this vintage. I like a lot of this wine. Yes. Yeah.
And I always say, God bless the Spaniards for aging the wines for us, because we often don't have the patience to have our wine sit and age. So we have this 7, almost 8-year-old wine already, and look at this beautiful color already in the 2013. And
very nice color. That's the Tempranillo, the grape. The main grape is Tempranillo, but also Graciano and Mazzullo are in the blend. Yeah. But the 85 or 95% is Tempranillo, and it has a very ripe fruit. The fruit is very present.
Yeah.
And the fruit is ripe, like blackberry or blueberry. But also we have the aromas, the flavors from the aging in barrel. think very nice. We have from the American oak, we have these flavors of vanilla or coconut, but from the French oak, the flavors are more spicy, like cinnamon or eucalyptus or licorice. It's very typical in the Tempranillo wines.
Is your blend pretty much always the same with, 85 Tempranillo, 10 Graziano, and 5 Mazuelo? Is that?
Not always the same, but for Gran Reserva, we use the oldest vineyards, and years before, 40, 50, 60 years before, the variety, the grapes are blended in the vines. Because nowadays we separate the Tempranillo is one plot, another plot of Graziano, another plot of Mazuelo. But 50, 60 years before, the viticulture, they planted Tempranillo and blend some plants of the different, because they know that this blend is very, very nice. And then they did that. They had the blend in the vines. Yes.
Yeah, so co-planting of grapes. Yes, of course, that would be very common for sure. I love Graziano. I love that it brings a little bit of a floral component into the blend. And then, Mazuelo, pardon me, which is Carignano, correct?
Yes. Mazuelo is Carignano. And Graziano is difficult to ripe because they need the south of on the vines, but has a very nice color, very, very nice, very alive. And good acidity that allow to wine and the wines age for a long. And the same Tempranillo is very good here in Rioja because we can. This wine is very nice to be drunk now, but we can keep if we want in bottle. That's the secret for the Tempranillo wines. Yes.
Yes, of course. And if memory serves me, you also make a 100% Graziano wine as well, right?
Yes. In
delicious.
Yes, it's very, very nice. And this wine you can keep for a long. Yes, it's the black pepper and the green pepper, very, very spicy. The Graziano, very special wine, very nice, good acidity, a very nice color. Yes.
So because of the level of aging, Grand Reservas are always a little bit more expensive. But let me tell you, people, it's $36.99 regular price on the shelf, on sale right now for $31.49. So if you're looking for an older red wine, always go to Spain. I'm telling you, it's great value, great quality of wine, and this is no exception. This is really nice, Maria. Really nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Marcia.
So, so do you have any future projects on the horizon? Anything that you are really excited about that's coming up, or anything different that you're going to be doing?
We have this Gran Reserva that I told you, and now for the next years we have done the last harvest. We have done a late harvest for white wine, and I like to produce a sweet wine. But we have started 2 years ago, and the wine that is a sweet wine because we do the harvest in December. Because usually here we do the harvest in September, at the end of September or October. But for this wine, we started in December. And I think it will be a very, very nice wine. Yes, very sweet with 80 grams of sugar and a different wine. Yes.
Okay. What grape are you using for that?
Yes. Maybe in 2 years or 3 years we will can taste this wine because it's a wine that we have to keep in the winery for at least 2-3 years because it's too young now.
Yeah. Yes. Will it be a sweet white or a sweet red?
Yes, sweet white.
Sweet white. So from Viola?
Corona, because we made Corona in the winery a lot of years before. but now we do a different style because we do the harvest in October usually, but we will try with this one from late harvest.
Okay.
Yes.
That
A
sounds
very small production and limited release also, but very nice, I think. Yes.
sounds interesting. Is there any Malvasia or Malvasia? I don't know how you pronounce it. Anything? Do you grow any Malvasia there?
No, it's Viura. It's also Viura. Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, this has been a very fabulous interview for me. I've learned a lot, and I hope our viewers have as well. Is there anything else that you want to say at all, Maria?
No, I like to go to Canada again soon, and I hope to. And if you ever visit Rioja, it's a very nice land, and we are here and we can visit and taste our wines, and for us it's super if you come here.
Oh,
Yes.
I mean, I think everybody's anxious to get traveling again, and it's been a very difficult year in all respects. But we are thankful that we can do this and that we can talk to you over, this platform. It's better than not talking at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Super.
So thank you so much for joining us, Maria.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I hope you have an excellent evening. And
Thank you.
yes,
You too.
we hope to see you soon here in Canada in our market. And yeah, so
I hope you here.
yeah,
Salud.
salud.
Cheers.
All right, have a good day. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye, everybody. Thank you very much.